when did you really see your following take off? I mean, obviously, like you being an actor, you're always like we were talking before we started recording of like you're always busy, whether it's a show or hosting or whatever it may be. But when did you really start to see, whether it's Instagram or whether it's, whatever it is, just when did that really take off?
Yeah, it's a good question. I have to think about that one a little bit as you're saying it. Um, I think, social media, I did Dancing with the Stars many years ago, and it was sort of when social media started. So that was the real impetus. That's when all of a sudden I started getting some followers, mostly Twitter. I don't think Instagram was around when I did Dancing with the Stars. But then I started doing a lot with Hallmark. I do a lot of Hallmark movies, a lot of Hallmark Christmas movies. Now moving into GAC movies, similar. But there were for a long stretch, I was doing Hallmark. And that's really when my social media started to grow, right? So there were a very loyal following. If you guys at home have seen a Christmas movie, odds are I've been in, I think I've done 20 Christmas movies at this point, TV movies. But I'll say this is how beautiful people are out there and how much good there is in the world that I went through a cancer journey, Zeb, as you know. Some of the viewers may know, but I went through a scary kidney cancer journey in 2019. And, I was working on a talk show at the time. I was hosting a talk show. I shared it with my viewers because it was the type of show that we were just really, it wouldn't have made any sense if I went through this journey and didn't share it on Home and Family. And so I shared it on my social media. I shared it on the show. And I did it just because I was going to be gone from the show and it made sense. I wasn't doing it to kind of but the response I got was so it's like bring tears to my eyes almost, like just so beautiful and supportive and kind and compassionate. I mean, we all have our stuff, right? We all are going through something, the challenges, and to be going through something scary for me and to get that kind of response. So me to say that's when all of a sudden, and by no means, obviously, it was not my intention, but that's really when I went from probably, around 100,000 followers and up to over in the mid two, like people just, it was just so kind and supportive and sending me messages and giving me shout outs. And that was really when my following kind of doubled through that. And I think it's important to highlight in a time in our world where there's a lot of emphasis on some of the negativity and of course a lot of the very, very, horrible and negative things that go on in and around the world, to know that there's so much good out there. Like we're in it for each other. These people don't even know me, and they're sending me messages and supporting, and we can do that for each other. And so for me, that was a big motivator for me to try to put good content on and try to give back in some way.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that resonates. I mean, just your story, I think like you said, being honest, like you were basically informing people of, hey, like this is why I'm not going to be on, or this is maybe why I'm not going to be filming, hosting, and you were just being honest. And I think that's a lot of times still to this day, actually more so today, is honesty, transparency, people just being upfront and real. That social media lacks that. So for you to do that, I think it resonates with people of, hey, this guy's being real. Like not only is he battling, but he's trying to overcome this. He's being real with us. He's not trying to hide behind it. Because I mean, you could have easily just dipped from social media, came back a few months later and just acted as if you were just taking an unplugging, but you wanted to be honest. And I think that's why we like loved you right off the bat, is because you were just real. You were like, hey, I've had gut health issues. I'm working with Alan and I've battled this and I've overcome this. It was very real. You were very genuine, very humble. And I personally, and I know the rest of the team has always just like loved that about you. So
thanks, man. I appreciate you saying that. It means a lot to me. And everything that I do, whether it's as an actor or as a TV host, especially in my life, obviously, is I really do try to be as authentic and genuine as I can be. And there was definitely a good chunk of my early career where I really felt I had to be on all the time, and it wasn't as authentic, like I don't think I was like putting on a facade, but I was just on. I just felt like I was on all the time, and it wasn't as, grounding, as authentic as I try to be now. And so I appreciate you saying that. You never know how it's going to be received. It is what it is, when you're honest and open and genuine. Sometimes it gets taken well and sometimes not, but hey man, it's me.
Hey, just be you being real.
Yeah.
You actually answered, I mean, because I had some follow-ups and you kind of touched on each one of those. I guess the last big question I would like to ask, maybe it's, short goal, long term, but is there an ultimate goal? Like, how can you, and like with that, how can you use your following for good? I know you kind of already touched on that with being real and being transparent, but, is there kind of an ultimate goal that you want to get across to your following?
Yeah, such a good question, man. And you know why it's a good question is because we should have an answer. Like in other words, and I think I do, but I think by you asking me, it's made it a little bit more clear in my mind. Like I really appreciate that question, because I think the answer is I'm on a quest, not only for health and longevity, but also for real happiness, for real, true, genuine peace of mind, and like a nice, positive, joyful inner happiness. So of course, health and activity and fitness and diet is a big part of that, but it's only part of it. And so I believe that what I'd like to answer, and whether or not I actually do it, but I would love to, long-term goal or maybe short-term goal is to turn like my Instagram somehow into Cam's how-to happiness, like a journey to try to like think better, to try to think in ways that lead to like positive and virtuous states of mind, so that we can be more, we can be happier and be more of a benefit to those around us. To find things that we eat and supplements that worked for us, to spread that information, to like whatever your goals are, your health or fitness goals, maybe there's things that I can share that I tried that worked and didn't, and maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't, who knows? But I'm a big meditator. I love how that's helped me. I may not seem like it, but you should have seen me before I started meditating, man. But it's a real big. I volunteer. I actually volunteer, and I lead meditation classes, just for free in little areas. Something I love to do, and that in itself, like volunteering, that is something that we can do that brings incredible joy and peace of mind, like a happiness that isn't dependent upon like external conditions and accumulating stuff and reaching status and all that, because that's what we all. Well, I shouldn't say we all. I feel like that's how society pushes us, towards trying to accumulate stuff and trying to gain like a level of status or job or partner or house or car or followers or whatever it is. And ultimately, if we base our happiness, our sense of self-worth on those things, it's very fragile and it's not going to last. Whereas if we develop our inner qualities and our health and our longevity, all of these aspects, then we're a real benefit to others. Then we can really be happy even in the face of like adversity and challenges. So I would love, and that's how I live, right? So we're talking about being authentic. That's really how I try to live. Obviously not every moment. Sometimes I could use a little bit of work. We all could. But I would love to try to shift my my posts and my social media. Also, for the fans, for the viewers and stuff that love to see what I'm up to, whatever. But also putting some good out there to help people kind of like understand where I feel like true happiness comes from.
Yeah, that's awesome. I couldn't really ask for a better answer. I mean, that resonates again because I remember having a conversation just a few days ago. I was with a couple of friends and we were at our complex's pool and we were kind of talking. I don't know what we were talking about, if it was visiting somewhere, but it was about like happiness, of like how you sometimes go to these places and the first thing people want to talk about is like, what do you do? Or how much do you make? Or where are you from? Or what cars do you drive? All these different things. And one of the first things he's like, it's crap because it's all relative. Happiness is relative. It's like, it doesn't matter where you're from or what you're making or this and that. I mean, to some people that means something, to others that means absolutely nothing. But what we all do need, especially I feel like the way times have been these last couple of years and with social media, is to be more happy, to be more grounded, to like find out what truly makes us happy and what, spreading positivity. Like that's one of my favorite things to do, of like, I've went through so many different ways of like what I should share on Instagram. And obviously I don't have, near a following as, you or any of our other athletes or anything like that, but it's still like, what can I do to like spread some positivity? What can I do to make someone laugh? Or what can I do to, anything like that? And that's usually always the easiest thing. Like it's one thing if I don't want to post a before and after or this and that, but like I usually don't even hesitate. If it's something like something, that makes me tear up, or if it's something that makes me smile, I'm like, this has got to make someone else smile. And like that is just like 100% the easiest post or the easiest share that I could do. So I appreciate you saying all that because it's exactly what we need. And
Imagine if everybody thought of social media that way, man. I mean, some people do. Some people put a lot of things that make us all laugh. That's all they post, or absolutely ridiculous things that are pretty funny. But I mean, just to add a little bit of meaning, like you say, to it, and to what we post and how we kind of like spread that aspect on social media, but in our life and in our encounters and people close to us as well, or people not even close to us, I think is a beautiful thing. Yeah.
no, that's awesome. This whole conversation has been awesome, especially for the first episode here. So obviously, it's not always easy jumping right into a new thing, but we do appreciate you doing this. I want to thank everyone else for watching this first episode of XYZ. You can watch more videos at our NuEthix channel, and you can also subscribe below. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Cameron. Thank your
Yeah.
dog. Thank everything. You're awesome. We appreciate you, and can't wait to continue doing more. Look at that. Yeah. See, I'm not wearing that. You look better in it than I do. So.
You know what I was gonna say? I was gonna say, everybody at home, we'll probably cut out before this. I don't care. But like every sponsored athlete is probably in better shape than I am, and I'm the skinny guy wearing the tank top. But I'm doing it because I believe in these guys and I love it, and they've made me happier and healthier. So and I honestly feel like they can, you too. So there you go.
Yeah, you're amazing. You show longevity to a T. I mean, you're awesome. We appreciate you.
You too, man.